Ethan has everything except the truth of his own heart. Noah has carried a secret for years, hidden just beneath a fragile friendship. When forced to live under the same roof, every glance, every touch becomes a question. Almost Yours is the story of a love that was always there, waiting to be seen. Episode 1: The Line Between Love and Friendship. The autumn sun poured through the dusty windows of the lecture hall, painting Ethan in a lazy golden light. He stood with an athlete's easy grace, his broad shoulders framed against the glass, one hand scrolling absently through his phone. A faint scowl settled on his features. "Seriously?" he muttered to the empty room, his voice a low rumble of irritation. "It's still 80 degrees out and the administration wants us in winter uniform? Makes zero sense." His gaze drifted down to the quad below, a habitual scan of his domain. And there, on a weathered stone bench beneath an oak tree, was Noah. Noah, small, quiet, a study in subdued colors against the vibrant fall backdrop. He was laughing at something his friend said, his whole face softening in a way Ethan rarely saw directed at him anymore. A familiar yet unexamined pang twinged in Ethan's chest. It was the same feeling he got when he saw a fragile, precious thing left out in the open. As if sensing the weight of the stare, Noah glanced up. His smile vanished. His eyes, a warm hazel from this distance, locked onto Ethan's. Instead of a wave, Noah's middle finger rose in a slow, deliberate, and infuriatingly graceful arc. He held it for a beat, his expression deadpan, before turning pointedly away. A surprised, sharp laugh burst from Ethan's lips. The sound echoed in the empty classroom, genuine and unguarded. "What's so funny, Ethan? Got a good meme?" Ethan's laughter cut off as if severed. He turned, the easy scowl snapping back into place. Rhea, a classmate with relentless curiosity and a perpetual smirk, leaned against the desk. "Spill," she said, arching a perfectly sculpted brow. "You're never this amused before a poli-sci lecture." "Nothing," he grunted, shoving his phone into the pocket of his jeans. "Just Noah being a little punk." Rhea's smirk widened. She nudged him with her elbow. "Oh, Noah, I knew it. You have a soft spot for him. How long are you going to keep up this whole brooding jock act? Just admit you like the guy." Ethan brushed her off with a dismissive flick of his hand. "Shut up, Rhea. Don't you have someone else's business to mind?" His tone was flat, a practiced wall of indifference. "Fine, be a grump," she sighed, flipping her hair. "But since you're in such a charming mood, give me a ride home. My car's in the shop." Ethan let out a short, humorless laugh. "Yeah, no. Walk. It'll build character." He turned back to the window, a clear dismissal. Rhea stomped off, but Ethan's attention was no longer on her. Down below, Noah was gathering his books, his head bowed. He'd heard everything. Ethan watched a slight hunch of his shoulders, a clear sign of withdrawal, and that strange pang returned, sharper this time, edged with a guilt he refused to name. They had been neighbors since they were 6. Ethan, loud and fearless, had taken the small, bookish boy under his wing. Their friendship was a foundational fact of Ethan's life, as constant as the old oak that stood between their houses. But something had shifted, quietly and irrevocably, around the time they turned 16. The day Ethan had casually mentioned his first girlfriend, a triumphant grin on his face, he'd seen something fracture in Noah's eyes. Noah had offered a stiff congratulations and then avoided him for a week. Ethan, perpetually popular, cycling through fleeting relationships, never understood why. He only knew that Noah's quiet disapproval of his love life was a constant low-grade annoyance. Later, walking home through the crisp evening air, Ethan fell into step beside Noah. "You finished your community service hours yet?" he asked, his tone carrying a casual, commanding expectation. "Yeah," Noah replied softly, not looking up from the sidewalk. "Good, let's go." Mom texted, "She's making lasagna." They walked in a silence that was both comfortable and charged. Ethan suddenly stopped, snapping his fingers. "Oh, right. You remember you're staying with me, right? Until your mom's bathroom renovation from hell is done." Noah stiffened almost imperceptibly. Yeah, I remember. My parents left for their hiking trip this morning," Ethan continued, leading the way up the driveway to his spacious, empty house. So it's just us. You can have my room. I'll crash in the guest room. He pushed the door to his bedroom open, a space that smelled faintly of clean laundry, cedar, and Ethan. Noah hovered on the threshold, his fingers twisting together anxiously. 2 weeks, Noah thought, his mind racing. 2 weeks of hiding my heartbeat, of trying to smother this stupid, hopeless crush while living in his smell, in his space. It's going to be torture. Forget the guest room, Ethan said suddenly, a mischievous glint in his eye. He slung a heavy arm around Noah's narrow shoulders, pulling him into the room. Noah froze, every nerve ending hyper-aware of the heat and weight of that arm. "We can just share," Ethan said, his voice dropping to a playful, intimate tease. He leaned in, his face close to Noah's. "Like we did when we were kids, remember? During thunderstorms?" Noah's face flooded with heat. He shoved Ethan away with a force that surprised them both, stumbling back. "Get off! I'm running warm. Don't crowd me." He clutched his thick hoodie tighter around himself. Ethan barked a laugh, gesturing at Noah's bundled form. "Warm? Dude, you're wearing a winter parka. It's October." "I get cold easily," Noah snapped defensively, a feeble protest. "Mind your own business." The next morning, Noah awoke to the low murmur of a voice. Bleary-eyed, he saw Ethan out on the small balcony adjoining the room, phone to his ear, backlit by the soft morning light. "Hey, Chloe. Yeah, I'm up," Ethan was saying, his voice smooth and easy. "A girlfriend or the next candidate?" Noah's stomach clenched. "No, you don't need to be my wake-up call anymore. My personal alarm clock just moved in." Ethan chuckled, a rich, warm sound. "Noah's staying with me for a bit. He'll make sure I'm up." Noah turned his face into Ethan's pillow, muffling a groan. The casual affection in that statement, "my personal alarm clock," was worse than any outright flirtation. It was a claim, devoid of the understanding of what it truly claimed. He lay there, simmering in a quiet anguish until Ethan strode in again, fresh from a shower, droplets of water clinging to his dark hair. "Rise and shine, Sleepy Beauty." Ethan stopped by the bed, and before Noah could react, Ethan ruffled his sleep-mussed hair. His hand was large and warm. "Man, your hair's a total bird's nest. Looks just like mine in the morning." The touch lingered for a second too long, just a beat past friendly, sending a jolt through Noah's entire system. Lunch in the crowded cafeteria was its own special kind of agony. Ethan, tray in hand, carved through the throng to where Noah sat alone. "You're eating with me today," he declared, not asking. "They've got those cheesy breadsticks you like." His possessiveness was offhand, automatic. But then came the interruption. A new student, introduced earlier as Aaron Reed, friendly with an easy smile from a semester abroad in Nepal, slid into the seat next to Noah. "Hey, mind if I join? Still learning the social lay of the land," Aaron said, his smile genuine and warm. Noah, grateful for a distraction from the Ethan-induced tempest inside him, smiled back. "Sure, I'm Noah." They were deep in a conversation about a shared favorite graphic novel when Ethan arrived, his presence suddenly looming like a thundercloud. He didn't sit so much as occupy the space, his chair scraping loudly. "What's the joke?" he asked, his voice a low, unamused monotone. Aaron, unfazed, extended a hand. "Hey, you're Ethan, right? Noah's childhood friend. Want a meatball? They're actually decent." Before Noah could respond, Ethan's eyes locked onto the scene. Aaron offering food, Noah's plate moving forward in acceptance. A possessive, irrational fury, hot and unfamiliar, surged through Ethan. He dropped his fork with a loud clatter. "I lost my appetite," he muttered, the words tight, and stood up, leaving his full tray behind. The final straw came after their last class. Aaron caught up with Noah by the lockers. "Hey, I live just a few blocks off campus, that big blue Victorian. Want to come over later? We could play FIFA, maybe order a pizza?" Noah, touched by the simple, friendly offer, nodded. "Yeah, actually, that sounds fun. Text me your address." From down the hall, Ethan heard it. The sound of his own chair scraping back was violently loud in the emptying corridor. His jaw was clenched so tight it ached. "I've had my fill of this crap," he announced to no one in particular, his voice thick with anger he couldn't justify. He stormed out without a backward glance, leaving Noah confused and Aaron watching with a slowly dawning, curious comprehension. That night, a restless silence hung over the house. Ethan, agitated, tore through his closet. "Have you seen my black Henley?" he called out, frustration edging his voice. When no answer came, he marched toward Noah's room. His room. He pushed the door open and the words died on his lips. Noah was asleep, curled on his side, drowned in the very shirt Ethan had been searching for. The soft, black cotton was comically large on Noah's slender frame, the collar slipping down to reveal the elegant line of his neck and a pale slice of shoulder. In the moonlight, he looked ethereal, heartbreakingly vulnerable, and profoundly peaceful. Ethan's breath hitched, trapped in his lungs. A memory flashed, unbidden. Aaron's hand on Noah's shoulder in the cafeteria, the casual intimacy of it. Now, seeing Noah swathed in his scent, his clothes, a primal, overwhelming wave of possession crashed over him, drowning out all logic. His heart wasn't just beating, it was drumming a frantic, desperate rhythm against his ribs. He pressed a hand to his chest as if to physically quiet it, his eyes wide with a terrifying, beautiful revelation. This wasn't irritation. This wasn't casual friendship. This was a wildfire. He stumbled backward out of the room, pulling the door shut with a soft click. He leaned his forehead against the cool wood of the hallway wall, his breathing ragged. The truth echoed in the silent house, in the frantic tattoo of his own pulse. What is happening to me? Why does the thought of him with someone else feel like a punch to the gut? Why does seeing him in my shirt feel right? Inside the room, Noah slept on, unaware that the solid, immutable line of their friendship had just been crossed in the dark, and nothing would ever be simple again. And just like that, a single moment changed everything. The line between friendship and love has not just been blurred, it's been set on fire. Can Ethan untangle this wildfire of new feelings, or will it consume the friendship he's always taken for granted? And what will Noah do when he discovers his secret crush is no longer a one-sided dream? The fuse is lit. Don't miss the explosion. If you're hooked, smash that like button, share this with a friend, and subscribe so you don't miss a single moment of their turbulent journey. The real drama starts now.